This is the integer card game. It's played with 4 cards each to 4 players. You play 4 rounds. Whoever's at 0 after 4 rounds or closest to 0 wins. The cards are black for positive, red for negative. So spades and clubs are positive, diamonds and hearts are negatives, and the numbers are right on the cards. Ace is 1. And let me just go ahead and go through. You will play with your table after this. So we've got the 4 people at the table. Spades will be the dealer the first time and will deal to hearts. So the first card to hearts is a 2 of diamonds. That is a -2. -4 to clubs. -7 to diamonds. +7 to spades. And the dealing continues. Another -2 to hearts. So if we just take a moment to think about where hearts is at for this game, trying to get to 0. Hearts has a -2 and a -2. This hearts is at -4. But if we look at this on the number line, we start at 0 for the first -2, go to -2, and add another -2 to that, starting from -2. So hearts is at -4 to start. And we'll see what cards they get next. Clubs gets a 10 positive. Diamonds is gets an 8 negative, +5 for spades, and we'll continue quickly. Each player gets 4 cards before we begin. The dealer also puts out a discard pile. At the top of the discard pile is a -7, and the rest of the cards go next to that. So each player needs to either pick from the discard pile here or this pile. And it looks like the hearts has -2, -2, -3, and 6. If they could decline to grab either, this person, hearts might just decline. But they have to do something. They have to either pick from the discard or pick from the new card pile. So this person picks from the new card pile and gets a +3. So the hearts has a -3, so maybe it would be a good idea to pair +3 with -3, knowing that that right there is 0. And then they'll have -4 additionally for a total of -4. And the +6 goes on the discard pile. Clubs is next, choosing either from the discard or the new card pile. They have 4 and 4 in negatives, so -8, and 10 and 3 in positives, +13. So -8 and +13. And I believe that if I was clubs, I would just try to go from -8 and +13 to -8 and +9 by replacing that +10. And now they have +9 and -8. -8 plus +9 is 1. Diamonds lucked out, got a high card since they have all high high absolute value negative cards, and switches there. The reason that I'm saying all this aloud is that I'd like for you to say this aloud as well. Share your thinking with the group so different people can hear different ways of thinking about which cards to select. Spades, picks from the discard pile, is going to replace that positive 7 with a negative 7. Why? Because a negative 7 here will go with their positive 7 quite nicely. And then they have a positive and negative card that are quite close together in value. Negative 7, positive 7 makes 0. Negative 6, positive 5 together. What does that make? Well, positive 5 and positive 5, or I'm sorry, positive 5 and negative 1 would make 0 plus negative 1, so this is negative 1. And I'm going to go through a bit more quickly for the rest of them. Hearts, lucked out again, got a positive 2, so now they have negative 3, positive 3, negative 2, positive 2. And they could win right now, but you have to go 4 rounds. You don't quit when you get a 0. So we're going to keep going. From the new pile, got an 8. Replace the 4 with an 8. Now that this person has negative 12 and positive 9. If you pick a card, you have to keep that card. You cannot discard the card that you picked up. Diamonds picks a 4 of hearts and is going to replace one of those negatives with a positive to offset all of those big negatives. Spades again, picks from a new pile, negative 3, and is getting closer to 0. Hearts picks a new card, bad choice, but they have to keep it. So I guess they'll hope that Hearts will hope that they can get something to closer to negative 3 later on, or choose something else. Another positive 3, and Clubs already had a positive 3 but can keep close to 0 by just swapping the positive 3s. Diamonds picks an 8 and positive 8 and can replace that positive 4. So then they have negative 8 and positive 8 making a 0, and then positive 10, negative 9, which will leave a positive 1 overall. Spades gets a positive 4, replaces the positive 5, 10, negative 10 and 11, they have 1. And so we keep on going through. I'm just going to go through quickly. I've explained my thinking for the first 2 rounds, and now we have gone through 4 rounds. So, who do you think won? So, Hearts has a 0 with the positive 2, negative 2, and a positive 5, negative 3. If you do that on the number line, you could also see that negative 3 and a positive 3 and positive 2. The negative 3, positive 3 would make a 0, left over with positive 2. Clubs. I see negative 12 and positive 12. Clubs has 0. Diamonds. Negative 17 and positive 16. Spades. Negative 12, positive 11. And those are their totals. Clubs wins. Now, I want you to play. Spades will deal first time around. Each player gets 4 cards. Try to have 4 players. 4 rounds in each hand. And again, black is positive, red is negative, trying to get to 0.